Well, good morning, America. I remember when Robin Williams said that about Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. And I happened to have been in country when that was taking place. We have ourselves in a real trick back here in the U.S., and my name is Randy Matthews. I go by Ramblin' Randy and a lot of other things. Good, bad, and indifference according to what side of the fence someone landed on after our first encounter. I have been a rambler and a rascal and a renegade most all of my life. Well, all of my life. Even though I have been on the majority of the time on the wrong side of the law, both as a childhood adolescent all the way to present. Been a renegade. Outside of the box. I never could understand why people gave their money away on this taxes thing. I never could figure that out. I've studied the Rothschilds way too much in this banking scam that they started back at the Battle of Waterloo. Not many people care to go into it that deep because there's a blue light special down there at Kroger today, or Kmart. We have become a pitifully fat, over comfortable society here in America. I remember when I grew up looking at the countries overseas that were hitting themselves in the head with rocks and whipping themselves with the cat o' nine tails in the name of their God or whatever. And it was like they were in a fish bowl. And we just sit there and watch them. And I used to think, how in the world could they be so heavily indoctrinated or involved with their church or what have you, to self-mutilate and to mutilate each other. And as time went by and I kept studying more, and I could also see that serious thread running through the those that descended from the Knights Templar, the Christians, and which I was born and raised a Southern Baptist Christian, but don't put the label on me as Southern Baptist. I'm connected to a source far greater than any of these man-made churches, and you are too. You know, the natives up in Peru that have never seen the sick-ass people pushing their own human religion, those people are doing damn just fine. They may have a good connection with the source. Probably didn't even have any kind of these diseases that we have, and the ones they did have, God gave them the materials to get healthy. It is all by design. Eat this berry over here, they taught their kids, and you'll get rid of that headache or whatever the case may be. We've left that because smart humans have been making stuff to substitute for the source. It's like going into someone's house. Are those real apples and oranges and bananas on your table? Hell no, they damn sure look like it, but they're not real. They're not authentic. What we're facing here is black magic. I call it black magic. Some people call it a conjure. Some people will call it a conspiracy. Some people will call it whatever. A con job, a scam, a sting. It's black magic. It's creating a sting or scenario that you have already the known options to get the people out. The scenario is usually created to drive fear and or anger in the groups of two or more parties that have differing viewpoints. I know these things to be true because I hearken back to, that village down there has told us that they're going to come up here and kill y'all. And y'all hadn't got any weapons or way to defend yourself. Here's some M1s, a truck, and truckload of ammo. And oh, by the way, we heard that they're coming to get you tomorrow, so you better get on down there today and take care of business. That's how it's done. And so if your end objective is to take possession of that ground that both of them stand on, let them both wipe each other out and then just walk in there and say, hey, I'll be the policeman of this and keep everything settled, but you got to do this. You got to follow the rules, and the rules take away your freedom. At the end of the day, whether you realize it or not, it still to this moment baffles me how so many people are either aware of what's going on with the global energy controllers. And energy and money, let's get this straight, they're one and the same. Energy and money are one and the same. Actually, energy's the source, money's just a storehouse of that energy that was created from sheer thought. Thought is our power. What we think about, we create. Where attention goes, energy flows, and that's the seed of manifestation. Y'all have done a damn good job. Turn on the news. They've got you whimpering and whining in a corner with a damn mask on. I'm baffled. I'm damn baffled. We used to take R&R, which is rest and relaxation, about 10 miles from the worst firefight going on the wrong side of the Da Nang River. That was recreational, 10 miles away, and happier than a pig in water. No problems 10 miles away. But people on the other side of the damn world are putting masks on, and they're nowhere near the battle. By infinite design, we have the capability of healing ourselves if given the opportunity to do so. I'll say this right up front, because I've taken it, because we caught every kind of STD known to mankind, and some probably from outer space when I was in the service, and glad to do it. But they'd give us that hydrochloroquine. It'd knock the chrome off a bumper hitch. I'm not kidding you. And you have no problems. They know that. They know that. They know that by putting that mask on, our exhalation is a means by which we dispense and get rid of toxins in our body. It's just one of many ways. The lymph system, sweating, peeing, and the rest of it all is about expelling poisons from our body that our wonderful body has been able to stave off any invaders. By putting that mask on, you are blocking the expulsion of those toxins, and you're re-breathing it. There's already been, which you're not going to see on the news, so many young children and adults that are getting respiratory infections due to this re-respirating these toxins. They know that. But guess what? They're going to create a pill that is going to fix that problem. Now, if you were in the pill making business and you could come up with something to scare the shit out of everybody, but you got a pill for it, you'd be sitting in tall cotton. Plus, they'd beg you for that damn pill. They'll do anything because they're afraid. They're scared. It blows my mind that there's so many people up there in D.C. that are either complete blundering idiots and are so blinded by the ornament on the hood of the car that they're doing 80 in a snowstorm, a whiteout. They can't see the damn foot in front of them, but they're doing 180 because they believe that ornament on the hood of their car. I guess that's the case. If not, we need to freshen up the gallows. We need to utilize Gitmo We need to utilize these prisons that are empty laying around. I've always wondered what that was for. They've got a boatload of them down here in Texas, and we need to fill that up. Or we're going downhill, people. It's like we're in a beach ball in the middle of a river, raging river, and they've got a string on it. They being those controlling the energy, the cartel, if you call it, whatever you want to call it, the globalists. And they're directing us. We're in here fighting about mask and race and all sorts of horse shit. They've got that string, and they're directing the whole shooting match right toward that waterfall, and it's not going to be good. We're going to go over the side of this thing unless we wake up and smell the roses. How do you get out of the basketball? You blow another basketball up inside of it, or you blow another balloon up inside of that balloon. And by sheer nutrition, we blow that outer balloon up because it expands to the point that it explodes because nobody wants a part of it. That's how you do it. I can do this. I've already created it. I've already created a platform where patriots that love this country, the rule of law, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights will teach that. Education is power, and application of that knowledge is the weapon. What we think about, we create. Where attention goes, energy flows, and that's the seed of manifestation. Well, how do you blow the balloon up inside of another balloon? It's with greed. That's right. Greed. I think Gecko said greed is good. Well, let me tell you something, people. Everybody has an innate drive. It's human drive to succeed and get something better than they got right now. You can call it aspirations. You can call it whatever. Self-confidence. It's greed. How do you get people to utilize the power of aspiration or greed in a way that they don't want to be labeled as being greedy? You make them work. But the work's not hard. What is the work? Thinking. That's all I want you to do. Is just think. Critically think. 5 times 3 is 15. Sounds silly for me to say that? Of course it is. It's not silly. In a little town of Nacogdoches, Texas, we had a PTA meeting. And I immediately in the audience saw that this was reeking of Common Core. Because I had a son that got an incorrect an X because he didn't answer. He answered the question correctly, 3 times 5, but he got an X because he did not explain properly how he derived coming to the conclusion that 3 times 5 is 15. I pondered that for a long time, and I realized they're trying to think. They're trying to create a new means of thinking. And the new way is their way, or it's the highway. It's the X. I stood up in that PTA meeting, and I said, this is Common Core. And I'll be damned if I'll stand by here with this school board allowing our children to be indoctrinated with that horse shit. And we beat it. We got to stand up. It starts right where you're standing, right where you're sitting right now. I'm talking to you. To you, the one that's hearing my voice. It's just me and you. And me and you can change this whole direction that this country's going. You're the only one listening to me. No one else can be hearing right now the vibrations hitting your ear other than you. There can be a whole room full of people listening to me right now, and the only one listening is whatever person is conscious and thinking about it. I want you to think about that. Everything is analog. It isn't quantum. That's bullshit. They've got everybody thinking that this AI and everything is going to take over the world. It would if we allow it to. But it has to be uploaded continuously with new data because it cannot create from the ambient like we do. It can't work like we do. It takes energy to think. And when you ponder and you reach out to a source greater than yourself, even though in my humble opinion you're calling on your greater self to connect to the source for you. This rapper we've got here is just an ego-based piece of garbage that wants to procreate. That's about it. That's about it. Other than that, when I go into my quiet time, I'm talking to myself. And myself, my deep self inside, knows. Everybody's got a knower. They know, you know, the right from wrong. But you know, it's like everybody wants to go to heaven, but just not today. Everybody wants to get rid of all these freebies that are dragging our country down and giving it away to people who aren't working, from people who are working. They want to get rid of all those freebies, but could you wait till Tuesday? Because I get mine on Monday, and then we'll shut it down. We got that $600 versus $2,000 thing going on. There isn't anybody in the entire world. Well, I guess there's billions, but I also need that. You see, I don't create anything like this. I'm a hippie from the 60s. I don't do shit unless I am forced to. Well, every time I'm forced to do something, to create something that goes parabolic straight up, I'm talking about from having $1 to having $1 million in 2 months. I've done it 3 or 4 times. I've got to be in a position like I'm in now. I have to do it. So bittersweet part of this for you is I'm in a down position. I got to create. Good part for you is you're fixing to take a ride to the top of the hill that you can't even imagine how much of this energy that you can accumulate. What is energy again? It's money. How do we do that then, Red Eye? Some people used to call me Red Eye overseas. There was a dog, a cartoon in I think it's Taiwan, some of them places, Laos or somewhere, that had a cartoon. This dog had red eyes and he could see into the future, and they always put me on point. And I'm here. I intuited the right direction to go. So a lot of people proud of that. So I got that little nickname in Jedi, and I go by Ramblin' Randy now. It doesn't make any difference what I go by. It doesn't. Hat kind of. Saw that hat and I said, man, that tells the story right there. We're all legends in our own mind. I'm more myth. But I know how to do this. If you're looking to get rich, I can get you there. I can get you there. But you're going to have to help me save this country for me to show you the pathway. I can guarantee you that you can get what you're worth. Are you worth $100,000 additional a year? Are you worth $1 million additional a year? You tell me. You worth $100 a year? You tell me. And I'll get you there. And it ain't going to cost you a damn thing. You won't pay a damn thing. You might give support to people that are helping you get to your journey, into your journey. That's what we do. We need a good old-fashioned American barn raising. That's what we need. Everybody pitched in. Their blood, sweat, and their tears. If they had any pennies, they'd give them to them, and it'd help them get that barn up. By God, it made a stronger country. Look where we're standing here. Back to these people up there that are in our Congress. This is the most communistic, or let's just call it wrong thing to do against our Constitution. They're trying to tear down the Constitution and level the whole planet and put those SQE bars or whatever you call it, that code bar on our arms like we're inventory. And kid yourself not, that's exactly what we would be. You heard about these credit scores and various things like that coming out? They've even got one now to where they're going to grade you. They want to grade you like over in China on social school. I'm not kidding you. You better wake up and smell the roses and get rich. The only thing that's going to save us is like what Ross Perot said when he was running president. The only thing that saves those people in the far middle, the east, and all that stuff is they need cash, cold, hard cash. I'm not looking to start some deal so that I can make a bunch of money and get a lot of greedy people to make a bunch of money. I'll tell you what I found out a long time ago down here in Texas is horses run faster when they're watered and fed right. And if I can show people how just, if they'll just do this one thing, if they love this country, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law applied equally to all, and they've got a personal story, go ahead and start ordering your curtains because you got that house and that castle on the hill. I can sell your story to the world. And there's nothing, bar none, nothing that can beat the power of the truth. It's kind of symbolic of why they don't want you to go outside. All coronaviruses are all viruses. There's no purifier or sanitizer better than sunlight. It's the best sterilization process there is, UV rays. Stay in the house, keep that mask on, get that respiratory issue, because we've got another virus coming right around the corner. 10 miles from the hottest firefight, and I was in hog heaven, wasn't worried about nothing. Don't panic, even if you see the whites of their eyes, because why? We got the big stick, and that's the truth. One of the terrible things that's going to have to happen is something that you've been very accustomed to has got to come down. It's printed with green ink and it's made of paper, special paper. We pass a lot of that around here in the U.S. It's got to go. It's got to go. They can create this funny money out of thin air. And they can take those little funny money digits and they can do black ops. They can do ops against you. They can do whatever they want. They can pay off people overseas. It's got to go. It's got to go. Gruff. G-R-O-F-F. Get rid of fake Fed. That's why Yellowhead is there, people. The day I saw him take office and he did the address, and it had Andrew Jackson behind him, blood warmed up in my body, and I said, is he the one? Is he the one? I've been studying these people for 20 years. G. Edward Griffin's been studying them for twice as long. Eustace Mullins would sit on the bench outside in the courthouse in Washington, D.C. damn near every day, and this has been 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, to file lawsuits against the Federal Reserve for being unconstitutional. Nobody to listen. Why? Because I get mine on Monday. Let's do it on Tuesday. It's called cognitive dissonance. Turning a blind eye against something that you know is wrong. Let someone take care of the dirty work, and then you turn back and go, oh, things are okay now. Well, guess what? There's a very high likelihood of your little pattern being disrupted radically. We can turn this thing around. Why do I say greed overcomes fear? Because of personal experience, people. Remember I said, I spent some time in a land far, far away? We used to watch the natives over there in the corner about to pee in their pants because there's gunfire coming through the windows. And we'd see them over there. I have done this. You can get a purse, staple, tape, or whatever, some U.S. dollar bills hanging out of that purse, throw it out in the middle of the road, bullets flying everywhere, and tell those people in that corner, my God, is that a purse out there? It's got dollar bills. There's $100 bill sticking out of it. they'll come out of that corner. They damn sure will. You cannot imagine how brave they get when the prize is right out there. Fear just goes right away. And they will run out there in the middle of bullets flying everywhere to get that damn purse because greed just won. If you can control greed into where you can attract people based on something that they want, cheese, money, security, safety, you bring it over, they see it, they come, we introduce them that yes, you can get all these things, but you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to think. You're going to have to tell people, other people, about how much you love this country, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. You do that, and you get that person to come and latch their wagon onto our star, become part of our army of eyes and ears, our galactic mental mercenaries. You have them join with us, and we will give you a token of appreciation. Cha-ching, that's energy. Remember what energy is? You got to be real careful nowadays. They got spiders all over these computers. They'll look for keywords. And so energy is the same as money, and whatever kind of form of money you might want to call it. All money is the storehouse of your energy. You worked all day long digging ditches, and you put forth a lot of energy. The first energy you had, if you was going to dig a ditch, is you had to think about digging a ditch. You had to have an initial thought. There's where the work started. And then all you did was continue to focus the energy. Next thing you know, you're out of bed. Next thing you know, you're continuing to think about it. You get shoes on, pants on, everything, and you go grab a shovel and you're digging a damn ditch. Someone sees you. It started all with a thought this morning, getting out of bed, going digging a ditch. They see you digging this ditch and they're going, thank you. I have some stored energy that I would have had to have used for that, and I'll give you some extra because you did it. Here is some of my stored energy, and they give it to you on a piece of paper with green ink on it, and that's nothing more than their stored energy that they gave to you. Are you catching on to me? Pretty simple. I don't know where I'm going to take this from here. All I could suggest that you do is, if you're hearing this on Twitter, follow me. I use Twitter and Facebook as a personal diary, something that I can do. At least I know that I'm doing my part down deep inside. I have young men as sons. They're warriors. They want to go grab the AK. The battle is not going to be won with the AK. It may take care of and subdue something on your front doorstep, but it's not going to solve this problem. This problem is going to have to be solved with that balloon. You got to want to. People have to want to. You have to control the narrative. And the narrative has to be pure and only based on you providing value to our group, our system. When you provide value and your value is recognized of being something that we were all looking for, be it a picture, an article, a YouTube, whatever, if there was 1 million involved with our system, that's all it is, the system. Involved with our system, our group, our family. If 1 million people saw it and just gave you a token of appreciation of their energy that they've stored that would accumulate, if you're basing it on $1, to 1 penny, 1 million people, do the math. 1 million times a penny. And we're not on damn Facebook or Twitter where you get a like and your heart just screams to high heaven. You get a bunch of our members of our system or our group, our pod, our ecosystem is what it is. It's a closed loop energy recirculation and distribution system is what this is. And it's tax free. It's a gift. So the little woodchuck sitting down there that said something proficient that just came in. It's prophetic, I mean. Says something and 1 million people give him a penny. That person down there was struggling for Similac and milk and to keep a roof over their head like many of us are doing now. Just made $10,000 of gifts of appreciation. And the people that gave it to him expect nothing in return. That person could be you on a consistent basis. Just provide us with good content. I'm building the platform again. We had it up and running. And my programmer turned out to be Antifa member and destroyed us. We were up and running. We would have had 1 million people by now. We would have made an impact. When you get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, like Medium's got, and we'll get all their people, you become a group that has the power of Soros. We hear about, oh, they're funding this, they're funding that. Well, if we have one of our members of our system, our community, our group that says we're having problems over here in Spokane, Washington, they're trying to put a DA in. If we had about $9,000 or $10,000 for flyers and gas money, and we could stand out there and fight, we could put our people in, help keep this county, which means a lot nowadays. We could keep it on the right path. Within a second, within one instant, we could bring it to our group. And that satisfaction has been met. We have power. Follow me on Twitter. And I'll try to remember to put the Twitter thing down there. My handle, my @ thing. And YouTube, but they'll blow us off YouTube real quick. And when we do get this kicked off, but I want you to think about what I've just said to you here. I have no agenda. I'm charging nothing for this. I've got enough in this already to buy 2 Bentleys. I've told people that. And it's taken me down to absolute zero. I believe the universe wants me to feel. Even though I walk the halls of most magnificent places on earth with wooden Italian shoes on, wooden-heeled Italian shoes and some of the most expensive clothes, driving the most expensive cars, boats, planes, the whole gambit. I have to be taken down to feel what it's like for everybody that's out there that's going through this same plight. I have to feel it. Then I can tell you with truth and honesty what it's like. And if I can get a team of warriors that I help in some way pull them from that quagmire, I got some boys and girls that we can move mountains. And they will shiver in their boots when they look at our eyes. Because we won't ring the bell. We're all in. God bless you and the horse you rode in on. If you're seeing this on YouTube, subscribe to that little old channel. There's only 10 or 15 people over there, I guess. Subscribe if you're on Twitter. Follow me and spread the word. We're fixing to build an army of eyes and ears. This is Ramblin' Randy. Remember this. This is very important. Remember this. Once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, they either cease to be mistaken or they cease to be honest. What say you? Go out, create a wonder-filled day. It is by choice. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And one postscript note, SGT, X22, John B. Wells, Clyde Lewis, Jimmy Church, quite frankly, Amazing Polly, Thomas Paine, Black Conservative Patriot, Lisa Haven, G.R. Tunes, Dan Garrison, and many more of my personal influencers that I listen to daily. The cavalry is coming. We can remonetize you and keep energy in your engine so that you can keep the truth being pushed out there. We have already won. All we got to do is accept it, visualize ourselves on the other side of the Jordan, and do whatever it takes, or that we've already done, to get there. Claim victory today. Don't doubt it one bit. Doubt is the only thing that dwarfs creation. Claim it as being done today. Ramblin' Randy, we down.